What is up, YouTube? This is AVAULT here, back in today with you guys another new Speed Duel deck profile video, and today we're featuring the top tier, tier 1 competitive, known as Dark Moth deck profile. This is my very own version right here, and just so you guys know, to prove that this is a top tier deck, we are playing this deck also in a tournament online hosted by Curse of YGO. Be sure to check that out as well. It's already started, so if you guys haven't participated yet, it already started, but don't worry, he'll be basically posting more new tournaments throughout the summer as well, so be sure to stay tuned and check that out as well. But we're playing this exact deck in a tournament setting, competitive, just so you guys know. If you guys watched the Speed Duel match the other day, featuring us playing against the Warrior Inner Conflict one, be sure to check that out as well. But here's my entire deck profile, and I'll be basically playing this deck throughout the entire tournament with many other Speed Duel versus match videos with this specific deck coming up to really showcase you guys for the competitive players. Anyways, taking too much time already, right off the bat, as always, quickly do a quick hard sleeve review. We're playing this using this Link Vrains OCG black and green, because I felt it just matches with Dark Moth, you know, dark and insects and everything. Just really cool. Once again, if you guys enjoy some of the sleeves and really want to get some for yourselves that we showcase on the channel, be sure to check out the AVAULT eBay store in the link in the description down below and support us there. You know, we sell exclusive OCG sleeves from Japan that are legal to be used in TCG as well, I believe. So yeah, be sure to check that out, and really good stuff. It just looks really cool. Very nice, good quality sleeves. Anyways, with our skill, we all know, which I'm not going to go into too much in depth, we all know what this skill does already. It's Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. You know, tribute your opponent's insect monsters, bring out moths, and then you get to shuffle back and draw one card. This skill is still just really powerful, still to today, even with the new sets released it. And hopefully with other new sets coming down the road, this skill will become less viable, but this skill, way too much powerful. Really strongest skills currently in the game. Everyone's just basically rampaging with Moth because of that overall. And moving into our monsters, we are playing two perfectly ultimate great Moths. Of course, you know, I want to play two. It's always ideal because you can always bring one from your deck and then one from your hand, which is really crucial for those ODKs. Next, you want 3 Parasite Paranoids, no more, no less. I mean, 3 max. You must do. You have to see this card as soon as possible in order to use your Cocoon. The Cocoon deck, I guess, the Dark Moth deck is very early game centric, I guess, when it comes to it, but not as early game as a Blue Eyes type of deck. But you need it very crucially to send out your Moth as soon as possible, so I wouldn't play any less. 2 is just not good at all, especially not in this ratio that I'm having, so you guys have to have 3, and I definitely recommend sticking to that no matter what. And basically how the combo usually works, I know many of you guys know already, but just quick reminder is that you could combo these cards all 3 together, tributing your opponent's monster, ideally sending your Parasite to the graveyard, which Cocoon will allow you to special summon one Moth from your deck, and then the other one will be special summoned from your hand with Parasite Paranoid's effect basically overall. Next, for our sort of like boss monster of the deck as well, we're playing 2 Gap the Divine Soldiers. This card is just absolutely insane. It basically stops Floodgates, it stops Fear Kuribos, it stops Kunais and Windstorms and all that kind of stuff. Your opponent can't be playing those anymore because you played Gap the Divine Soldier. And you know, it's a great card to tribute one of. It's got great stats and attack. It can even boost itself with 300 by revealing Fiend monsters from your hand as well, which rarely happens, but you know, the main reason why you play Gap is that's the reason why, to really review your opponent's set monsters, Blast Spheres, I don't know, Man-Eater Bugs, you know, stuff like that. It basically stops any flip effects as well, which makes it very powerful. Next, we play triple New Doria, basically our very core monster removal monster that's a dark type, decent effect. You can just target any monster. This card is just better than Man-Eater Bug or Old Vindictive Magician and all those other destroying monster cards like Yomi shit back in the day, because the reason why is because you can choose any other card other than the one that destroy it. It doesn't have a flip effect, and it has decent stats out of all of those cards overall, and plus it's a dark type. That's the reason why. And then we will get into why dark type is important and why it's called Dark Moth. Next, we do play Double Sphere Kuribo right here, another great dark target, and also a really good card just to keep in hand to basically outplay your opponent, because your opponent's many decks in this format would be playing back row removals, and you probably want to keep this in your hand so that you can sort of stop attacks overall. And I think Sphere Kuribo has worked out very, very well in most cases in those clutch situations, and you do definitely need those dark targets overall. So that basically rounds off the monsters right here. We're playing as many darks as we can as we move into spells, and I'll explain to you guys why right here. We are playing triple Allure of Darkness right here. Some of you guys might not disagree. You guys might want to play 2 instead. That works, but I do really, really like that draw power. We want to see it as soon as possible, and we're actually playing a 24 card deck, just so you guys know, and this is why playing 3 is totally fine for me, and it has worked out very well. I guess maybe looking back, I might maybe eventually swap it out and add a different card back in, potentially another monster or another back row removal card. Looking back, but you know, it worked out very well for me. You know, like drawing those cards is so crucial. Next we play double Night Beam. You know, you can basically up to you with your ratios. You can play 2 allures and triple Night Beams. Night Beam is just absolutely great. It is you can somehow play around it for the opponent, but I just really like it how you can just use it straight off your hand, and usually your opponent can't activate to respond to it anyways, which works really well. You guys can play Twister. I know some people play Twister, but they have to pay 500 life points, and I kind of don't like it personally because, you know, especially when you're against a Twisted Personality matchup, it doesn't work as great overall. But you know, Night Beam has worked out very well for me throughout the entire tournament, and I guarantee you guys this is really good. So that basically rounds off for the spells, and that's not much spells that we play in this deck overall. Parasite itself kind of counts as a spell anyways, so now we're moving into the traps, and very heavy trap. We play triple Zomas. Strongest trap in the game, I personally feel. Really powerful. You know, you can bring out an 1800 beater with an effect that basically inflicts damage to your opponent. It's just really good. You know, it's very versatile. There's many ways I can play around it. Usually people like to play in the end phase to bring it out and then switch it to attack so they can get attacked as a normal monster next turn. Or even you can play it as a defensive tool. If your opponent tries to swing in with a Moth, you play this card in defense. Your opponent's going to have to think twice before swinging with their monsters, because, you know, their strong monsters destroy this card, they're going to be taking massive damage, and they don't want to do that. So really good at pressuring your opponent. Next we play double Nightmare Wheel, essential as well. Really great card. A lot of people are debating this versus Mask of Darkness, but the only reason why this is better than Mask of Darkness is, first of all, it's a trap, so that if you are going first, this card is really good respondent. Secondly, it doesn't necessarily have to target a face-up monster. You can target face-down monsters as well, and you can be very creative in those situations. That's why it's better than Mask of the Accursed overall. I only play 2. Some of you guys might recommend to play 3, but you know, let you guys know. I'll let you guys up to decide as well, because you can swap out 1 allure for one more copy of this. But last but not least, we are playing 2 Dust Tornadoes. I personally feel that I play a lot of back row removal. 2 Night Beams and 2 Dust Tornadoes work well for me. I actually personally even felt like I want to put in another Night Beam or another Dust Tornado. I actually want to play 3 of each at one point, even, honestly, thinking about it, because back row removal is just so crucial. I can take away 1 allure, but I can't think of what other monsters, one monster I might want to take out, and it's just very hard to decide. Maybe 1 sphere, I'm not sure. You guys let me know in the comment section down below what you guys feel about my build, but this is basically the main deck right here. And yeah, just use my deck as a resource to build upon your own deck overall moving forward. So that rounds up for the main deck. Just so you guys will know, once again, it's 24 cards main deck. The reason why we play 24 cards is because there's so much access to our resources very quickly with Cocoon, and we're playing triple allure, so we get our resources so fast that playing 24 cards is actually enough to compensate with it. And I don't play any of the Koi Cheese. Thinking back on it, I might play some Koi Cheese. I feel like maybe I should be, but it's just very difficult to fit in all these different kind of cards that you really like. But anyways, let me know your comments and let me know your suggestions in the comments down below, and I really greatly appreciate it. So we are now moving into the side deck. The side deck, I do play 1 more Dust Tornado. I felt like really strongly after this tournament, this card should go into the main deck even, honestly. We play double Offerings, just really good for removing any monsters that we need in a dire situation. Very powerful card. Although I didn't really end up siding in much in, maybe other cards would have been more useful, but this card is just really good, and I felt like you just must have at least 1 of it. But I played 2 because it's just so great. Next we play 1 Golden Ladybug. Of course, it's a great respondent for any burn decks that inflicts 500. Great respondent to Nightmare Wheel. Great respondent to Gravekeeper's Curses. and it basically helps you offset the damage you're taking so you're not losing as quickly as you really should be. Next, 1DD Crow. I think this card is always a standard one of you must have. It's not entirely great. I mean, it doesn't cover a wide range of decks, but there are some specific decks that really utilize the graveyard, and this card will come in great handy. So I really recommend one, even though that the meta doesn't seem to be very graveyard centric just yet. But when you do face a graveyard type deck, you're gonna need this no matter what. And then one Jar of Avarice to round off last but not least, in case you're going against a grindy matchup, which, you know, stall or basically some kind of stall deck, and you're gonna deplete your resources very quickly and you need to recoup your cards. Overall, I felt like personally I didn't really have to play the side deck that much, even in the whole tournament entirely. Most of the times I've actually been siding in Dust Tornadoes into it by removing either a Nightmare Wheel or anything, one of the cards that I don't really need depending on that matchup. And I have to say, this main deck that I created, I'm not trying to give myself a pat on the back, but I really felt like it was just really perfect. It just worked very well for me throughout the entire tournament. There was no in a time that this deck was able to cover many different matchups overall, which makes really makes this deck so powerful and so strong and so annoying for opponents to deal with. And this is why it deserves that top tier 1 list spot overall. Anyways, we do have a extra deck as always, as I mentioned. 6 copies of any fusion monsters, just so your opponent knows you have a fusion deck that you might dig into it. Heavily emphasized this so many times already, so I'm not going to go any more in depth. Definitely play 6 random monsters just so your opponent knows maybe you're playing an extra deck, just in case anyways. So yeah, that basically rounds up this entire deck profile. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think, what cards you guys would add, suggest, or take out, and all that kind of stuff. Really appreciate your comments. As always, if you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the AVAULT channel for more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh Speed Duel content on this channel. This is the perfect place to be. This is a competitive deck right here, and we are playing this competitive deck in a tournament with many other match duels coming up, so be sure to stay tuned for those. There'll be a lot of those coming up with this deck featuring this entire tournament I'm playing overall, so be sure to stay tuned for that and don't miss out. Click that notification bell overall. So yeah, that basically rounds off the entire video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. Stay tuned for the next video, and this is AVAULT signing out.